How do you make a game about a hero who's literally invincible? Well, first you hire a few programmers, and then the middle part gets a little tricky, but if the end result's anything like this game, you've done okay. One Punch Man, a hero nobody knows, is an arena fighter you might have missed. Taking obvious inspiration from the Dragon Ball Xenoverse series, it lets you create your own hero and haphazardly insert them into the events of the series. Mostly the game is known for actually balancing Saitama. If you select him for your team of 3, he'll hang back until you run out the clock to one-shot the enemy team. But that's actually not the mechanic I want to discuss today. This game has something else up its sleeve. But first, let's talk Super Saiyans! Dragon Ball Z's famous Golden Head power-up is a mixed bag. On its own, I love it, especially the way it's introduced. After Frieza repeatedly powers up by turning into bizarre monsters, here comes Goku, hair gently rising with his power level. Minimal, elegant, badass. Unfortunately, I feel that's the kind of thing that only really works once, and they've tried it more than once. It's not an exciting new form anymore, it's just a different hair color. Why am I meant to be excited by this? In the Dragon Ball Xenoverse series, your hair doesn't even lift up. Say, what if my guy was blonde to begin with? I've played my share of Xenoverse 2, and honestly none of the transformations in this game are particularly impressive. I get that they're limited by the source material, so some of the races have an excuse, some don't. And this is where a hero nobody knows takes the advantage, because you can transform in this game. It's called Mode Change, and you can customize it. Now, you have to unlock a ton of crap before you can make anything good, and a lot of that stuff is just casual clothing anyway, but the bottom line is that your super form is only as boring or ridiculous as you choose to make it. And I like that! This is Purple Man. He's friends with Moomin Rider. But Purple Beast is nobody's friend, so please don't make him come out and play. He's a bit too rough for the other kids. There's plenty of games where you can make your own crazy character, but not a lot of them where you also get some kind of transformation. I feel like that's more of an anime-specific trope anyway. The point is that it's a really simple idea that I have somehow never considered until this game showed me. Now, how does this affect gameplay? Well, not by much. It's basically just a little buff that lets you take and deal a little extra damage, and it's the only way you can use your super duper extra special move, which not every character even has. It doesn't even last very long. So now you probably think I'm being very silly getting very excited over such a tiny part of this game, and okay, yeah, I'm being pretty shallow about this, but is that always so wrong? I don't think it's unusual to want to become a bigger, stronger version of yourself in real life or in a video game. If we're talking gameplay pure and simple, an unobstructive indicator like a sparkly aura or a new hat should be enough to tell you that you're stronger now. But if we're talking about battles that blow up city blocks or tear planets apart, I'd like to become something a little more out there. Never thought I'd need to justify wanting something to look cool in a video game, but apparently my hand's been forced. But then again, my idea of something cool looks like this, so make of that what you will. Whatever you do to your character's outfit is purely cosmetic, so this just seems like a fun little bonus for players, since some of the fighters from the show had second forms anyway. Customizing Mode Change on its own is nothing to get excited about, but I see potential. Going forward, I would love to see more of this. One Punch Man 2, Xenoverse 3, whatever. Take it, refine it, expand on it. I'd love to see a brand new game run with this concept. Maybe you could customize a whole different set of attacks for your super form, or choose an extra ability like regenerating health or doubling in speed. Add new ways to change up the playing field outside of just hitting harder. If we are going with a hero nobody knows, maybe you can change your fighting style, go from a street brawler to a psychic destroyer god. It's a simple concept nobody's really jumped on that's just waiting to happen, but I'm no game developer, I just want to see the ball rolling. Now, as for the game itself, it's okay. I'm not really into arena fighters, and this one hasn't really changed that. That's the thing, I guess. As cool as Mode Change has the potential to be, you still need a solid game around it. You could have the best character creator in history with a solid, satisfying, and unique transformation system, but nobody's going to care if it's attached to Bubsy 5. I did have two specific issues. First, there aren't enough bad guys in the roster. I realize I don't usually last that long in this franchise, but I'd choose monster number 14 over Tank Top who gives a hoot any day. Specifically, my picks would be a Subterranean, Armored Gorilla, Combo Infinity, and Hammerhead. Which is weird, because Hammerhead is in the game. You can fight him, you can make him, but he's not a part of the roster. Yo, we get 3 of these guys! And secondly, the show's first season is a terrible template for a game like this. From the perspective of your newbie hero, everything from Vaccine Man to Boros are just random unconnected events you plot along into, only connected by you bumbling into Saitama every now and then. Most of the game's padded out with random monster fights, and when you do catch up with a villain from the series, most of the time you're just getting wailed on until Saitama arrives. I just want to fight Vaccine Man! Why are you doing this? Ironically, while I'm not a big fan of the Monster Association arc, I do think it would tie the game together a lot better than this. Here's just my little idea on what they could have done. Give your hero a legitimate rival. Let's go with Lecture Man, since he's already in the game. They start off friendly enough, but after you've tagged along through the main story for a while, they start to get the impression that Saitama is taking credit for your victories, and that you're the impossibly strong one, getting more and more desperate, trying to outdo you and reach this level that is just impossible for both of you. When you're done with the show's story, they finally lose it and monsterize into the true final boss, and this time, you can't rely on Saitama showing up. Or I guess you could just pull stuff like this.
Oh! I'm sorry, I thought I was playing a video game. My mistake, sir.
You know what else is fun? Spending the whole fight building up your mode change just for it to end as soon as you're ready. I'd describe that as gameplay! Thank you so much for watching. Please like, comment, and subscribe if you haven't already. Check out the Patreon if you can, and leave in a comment below what do you think this game could have done a little better. I admit, the list is not small. Stay positive, and hopefully I'll see you again soon. I love this song.